Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 28th of January. So looking at the Euro-Dollar first, and we come to a bit of a stalemate I think with this pairing. In terms of the bad news on the Euro is pretty much out there. We have got Draghi speaking again today at 2 p.m. when he testifies in front of the European Parliamentary Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee. It's easy for me to say, but aside of that, well, that will probably be much of what he said last week. That said, at 2 o'clock we could see a bit of volatility around that sort of his speech again, for those that missed it the first time, and it's whether or not he gets asked questions that are a bit more searching than what he saw by the press previously. Anyway, for now the news is out there. It's pretty much as was expected, so it sort of leaves us in a bit of a potential chop range. What have we got in store for the rest of the day? Well, we do have a weekly pivot sitting there around about 1371, and then we've got the daily pivot sitting at 74, so we could get a sort of a draw down to that area. We often see pivots hit quite early, and we may just see that those sort of areas targeted. One thing that might hold price up at least to around about 2 o'clock is the large options expiry sitting there for the euro. There were quite some sizable expiries around the 1320, 1350 for 114 area, so more 1320. Okay, so yeah, 1320 and 1350 may just hold the price away from actually touching that area. We'll see how it runs, but I think it'll be hard to get down that way at the moment. Those the support that's below it. There is a slight divergence that's sort of happening with the euro at the moment. Okay, I'm looking at a 30-minute chart here, but you can see the way the RSI is just rolling sliding off there a little bit. Actually, on the bigger time frames, that may not be quite the case. Let's have a quick look here. Oh no, it's a solid divergence across the high, he says. Maybe not quite so solid actually, because the previous high took it out. Okay, I'm talking to myself now. I will carry on. So looking for this sort of if it starts selling off this morning, these are the sort of targets I would be heading for. If we start seeing it bounce into the upside, well, we've got the R1 to the upside. There's possibly other figures, but the R1 would probably be within reach. As for the pound, starting to roll over a little bit more. Maybe this morning it too has got weekly pivots sitting below. Solid up day on Friday. Do wonder, with the Brexit negotiations not really happening too well at the moment, what's going to come, but it looks like the fact that no deal may not sort of happen, although May will not take it off the table, is causing a bit of concern. But for now, heading down towards the daily pivot, not too far short of that now. If it pushes on through there, well, we could be heading towards the daily R1 and the weekly pivot at some point. So that's the pound. Upside wise, well, oops, it's just there's a very simple trend line across the highs here. I'd be looking at, if it starts breaking above that area, well, I'd be looking for that monthly R3 and the daily R1 up there at 32.57. Okay, that's the pound. Dollar yen. Dollar yen, really, when you look at this on daily picture, you can see it's up a day, down a day, middling a day, up a day, down a day. It's not particularly easy to work out which direction it really wants to work in a moment, and consolidation seems pretty much the phase. However, at some point it will most likely break, and probably break at some sort of pace. For now, it's got daily and weekly pivots above, which could be a draw to the upside. So anything that if it starts breaking upwards beyond the 60-minute 200 I'm looking at here, I would be looking at those areas if I were trading the yen as targets at least. Aussie dollar bullish engulfing on Friday there on the candles. A solid day. I was looking the week before for the potential to push up towards that daily 200. It did nothing. It just sort of rolled and rolled. Got quite bearish looking. The bullish engulfing, is it going to hold? Well, we do have weekly and daily pivots sitting below us, and it's a slight bit of weakness at the highs there, but a divergence initially at least. It might just roll backwards and infill that sort of those targets there. So if it does, well, that would be a correlation across the market. So you can see the pound's sliding off as I'm talking here. So your Aussie could do similar. The upside, well, I don't really fancy it that much. I know it's got the bullish engulfing. I think it may just chop around. There's nothing to move the markets too much this morning, at least. Canadian dollar, like the Aussie, had a solid move on Friday. It's finally broken the lower trend that I was talking about here, and it's heading down towards that daily 200. If oil can hold up, it has its chance of continuing that way, but it too has weekly and daily pivots above in this case, which could be targets. So there's a lot of drawn pivots. I know I've mentioned them a lot, but the probability of them being hit is pretty high. So that's really what I'm looking at the moment from a purely statistical base. News-wise, as I said, there's very little out there. Maybe ECB president could move it. We've got the Bank of England, Carney, speaking a little bit later, talking about on a panel meeting, talking about the future of money. So that's it for today. Hope you have a great one. Bye for now.